Dear children, so happy morning to one and all. So the lesson we have discussed it is materials, metals and non-metals. So in this session, last class we discussed about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So regarding that metals are having, so what are the properties are that in metals? Let me remind children. So what are that? Yes. The first is the metals are hard. Second, it's malleable. So malleable means drawn into thin sheets. And third property is ductility. So ductility means it will drawn into thin wire. And next is sonorous. So sonorous means it will produce sound. And it's a good conductor of heat and electricity. So these are the physical properties of metals. And next, for non-metals. So non-metals are soft and it's non-malleable and it's non-ductile and it will not produce sound. So we can tell it as it's non-sonorous and it's a bad conductor of heat and electricity. So there is the exceptional cases in metal. What are that? Yes, sodium and potassium is soft. So they are soft. So we can cut with the help of knife. And second is mercury. So mercury, which is the only metal which is in the solid state at room temperature. So these are the exceptional cases in metals. And now we are going to discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So in that we discuss about the reaction with oxygen. So what happens when metal is treated with oxygen and what happens when non-metal is treated with oxygen. So this is the concept today we are going to discuss. So generally the metal, it is reacted with oxygen, it forms metallic oxide. It forms metallic oxide. So example, we can take any metal such as we can take any metal, for example, sodium plus oxygen, it forms metallic oxide. So what is the metallic oxide here? It forms, yes, it's formed sodium oxide. So this is the example for metallic oxides. So generally metals react with the oxygen, it forms metallic oxides. Now we will see the example. So for example, when we take iron is reacted with the oxygen with water, that is moist air. So what happens when iron is reacted with moist air? So moist means it contains water. So that is H2O. Air means oxygen. So what happens? So it will form a ferric oxide. That is 2 molecules of Fe2O3, 3H2O. That means the iron. So what is the formula for iron? Fe. So what is the formula for oxygen? O2. So what is the formula for water? H2O. It's form a hydrated. So hydrated means H2O is a hydrated. So hydrated ferric oxide, or we can tell it as hydrated iron 3 oxide. So it will forms, so that hydrated ferric oxide or hydrated iron oxide, we can tell it as rust. So when iron is treated with moist air, it will forms a rusting. A rusting will occurs. So that rusting is hydrated ferric oxide. So to balance that equation, so we have to put 4 in front of iron and 3 in front of oxygen and 3 in front of water molecule. So it forms 2 molecules of ferric oxide, that is 3 molecules of water. So we can tell it as hydrated ferric oxide. So what is meant by rusting of iron? So rusting is nothing but the iron, we can take that iron which is reacted with the moist air. It forms a reddish brown coating will be there. So that reddish brown we can tell it as rusting. So the process in which iron particles get coated with a reddish brown powder when exposed to moist air is called rusting of iron. So rusting of iron means that iron is reacted with moist air. It will forms a reddish brown. A reddish brown will be coated in the iron particles. So that is known as rusting. So you can see some gate that is not coated with paints or oil. So what happens? So after few days, it will forms a reddish brown coating is there. So what is the reddish brown coating? Yes, it's rusting. So to avoid rusting, what we have to do? How we can prevent the rusting of iron, children? Yes, so we have to apply paint on that iron article. If we apply paint on that iron article means the rusting will not occur. So that's why, so when we use iron articles in your home, so we have to paint that iron articles. Otherwise, the rusting will occur. And the term rust is a chemically hydrated iron oxide. So the rusting means we can tell it as hydrated iron oxide. So the formula is Fe2O3 2H2O. So this is the rusting formula. So rusting means we can tell it as it's hydrated ferric oxide or hydrated iron oxide. And next example we can tell it as what happens when magnesium is treated with oxygen. So what is the formula for magnesium? Mg. Then what is the formula for oxygen? O2. So that it will forms magnesium oxide. So magnesium, what is the formula for magnesium? Mg. For oxygen, O2. It forms magnesium oxide. So MgO. So what is the general reaction we already discussed, children? What happens when metal is treated with oxygen? Yes, it forms metallic oxide. So here the magnesium is treated with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. Now we can go for activity 4.3. So in that, let us check the nature of rust formed as a result of reaction between iron, oxygen and water. So we have to check the rusting nature. So what it will be. So what the reaction will goes on, and after we have to check whether it's acid or base. So we have to collect a spoonful of rust and dissolve it in a very little amount of water. So we have to collect the rusting particles with the help of spoonful, and that rusting particles that we have to dissolve it with very little amount of water, and you will find that the rust remains suspended in a water. So the rust, it will suspend. So suspended means it will form the bulk particles is there. It will not dissolve. So shake the suspension well. So we have to shake that rust particles, that suspension. So suspension means it is a bulk particles. It will not dissolve in water. For example, we can take chalk powder that is dissolved in water. So when the chalk powder is dissolved in water, what happens after some times? Yeah, the chalk powder, it will dissolve in the bottom, and the top the water will be there. So that particles we can tell it as suspension. The particles will not dissolve in water. We can tell it as suspension. So it's having the large particles. So clusters will be obtained. So cluster means bulk particles are there. It will not dissolve in water. So rust also, it will not dissolve in water. So we can tell it as it is a suspension. And test the solution with red and blue litmus paper. So we have to test the solution with red and blue litmus paper. And what do you observe? Is the solution acidic or basic? So what is your observation will be there? What did you observe in that activity? So here we can see it is a rust particles. The rust particles will dissolve in water. So what happens? It will settle at the bottom. It will forms like a bulk particles will settle in the bottom. It will forms like a cluster. So we can tell it as it's a suspension. So that rust suspension is transferred in the china dish. So it is a suspension particles, that's rust suspension particles. So in that we have to take the two litmus paper. So one is red litmus paper and another one is blue litmus paper. So these litmus paper is used to identify whether the given solution is acidic or basic. So when we dip the red litmus paper in a solution, means it will turns to blue, means we can tell it as the solution is basic in nature. So the red litmus paper is turns to blue, we can tell it as it is basic in nature. So when we take the blue litmus paper, so that blue litmus paper, when we dip that blue litmus paper in that solution, it will turns to red, means we can tell it as the solution is acidic in nature. So here we can take that rust. So we have to dip the two litmus paper. So here the red litmus paper is turns to blue color. So what we can conclude? Yes, it's acidic or basic, children? Yes, it is basic in nature. So the observation is the red litmus paper turns blue. So here The red litmus paper is